I'm munching.
And I see Holly here. I don't see the screen share, guys.
Nope, you're good.
Robert, I had to click on you click on yourself, blue box it, and that makes it show up for everybody. I've got it blue boxed right now.
Okay, how's that?
Okay.
That's how you select whose screen is actually showing. Otherwise, it's whoever is talking the loudest.
All right.
That's why we keep saying Holly.
Do we have
She's got the best mic.
Do we have some viewers as we're live now? How many people have we got?
I had several people that said they were going to join. Let me look. I don't have any viewers according to my screen here.
Right, okay. Okay, so we'll just go ahead anyway, and we'll see how it goes. I was hoping this week we could do something a little bit more interactive and sort of break it up a little bit. But anyway, we're going to talk about internal YouTube links, okay? And the various places that we can get YouTube internal links are from doing things like silos and link wheels, which is basically done via using the comment system, okay? And the good thing about the comment system, of course, is that it's connected now with Google+, which again has played right into our hands. And the good thing about the Google+ aspect is somebody likes a video on Google+, or gives a +1 on Google+, it counts as a like in YouTube. Now, there's many ways that we can use that. And I'm seeing Robert again now. Okay. So the comment system is basically our friend when it comes to automation and the things that we can do with it. Okay, the other way that we can get the internal YouTube links is playlists, and there's many ways that we can use that. We've actually built a couple of tools into the playlist builder that we got within Commando HQ to help with that. And we can therefore do a lot more with using the multi-channel features, which is just such a great feature for us to use if it's used correctly. Okay, and the other way to get them is featured channels and also to be on subscriber notifications. So the more subscribers you got, in theory, is better, so that you can get more links. But it's bad in a way if you don't have real subscribers, and the reason for that is if you have something like 1,000 subscribers and only 3 people are watching, then you're actually better to have 3 subscribers and 3 people watching, because then it's 100% of your subscribers that actually is watching your content, and Google can find that out pretty easily. It can, it's not worth to do a lot of subscribing unless you keep it within a ratio that is I don't know. You can do a quality control is what I'm trying to say there, because you do need your content being viewed in proportion with the amount of subscribers that you got. So for example, people like Real SEO, pardon me, they've got, what, 28,000 YouTube subscribers. I've got no idea, I haven't looked to see how many people actually watch their videos, but there will be certain videos, like, for example, their creators tips, where they get a lot of views every time they come out with a new creators tip video. And that way, Google can see that, this is a good quality content provider. His subscribers go and watch what the content is, and so we have to take a lot of that kind of stuff into consideration as well. Okay, now the advantages of YouTube internal links is that it does help you to rank very, very fast within the YouTube system itself, but I've also seen it help to rank in Google too. And I think if you look at some guys' courses, Bill Cousins has done his Rocket Video Rank. I think he's up to 4.0 that he's working on right now, and it's basically based on that. On the YouTube internal kind of links. And the other guy, what's his name, Chad something, Chado he calls himself, he's pretty good. He's been doing the YouTube stuff for several years, and he's a big believer in using the comment system to get high rankings and fast rankings as well. Although I'm not familiar with too many of his strategies. I've just seen his sort of advertising kind of or commercial type videos promoting his courses, and he's always emphasizing the value of the comment systems. I'm hearing a lot of background noise. Might be good if you guys could mute your microphones, and that way we don't get any background noise.
Okay, muted.
Okay.
Yeah, I have been muted.
Yeah, okay. Right. Anyway, so basically that's the way that we can get the internal YouTube links. Now, let's just go on to the next slide here. Could you move the slide there, please, Robert, onto page 2? Okay. To get notifications, this is what I use, and this is what I suggest people use. The advantage of using this kind of system to be able to get notifications that give you opportunities for commenting is that you can go and comment fast, you can comment quickly, okay? And if you've got something like a Gmail account where you've got that little pop-up every time a new email comes in, if you catch it, you can get first comments on some very, very relevant content as it comes up, okay? I use things like Twitter lists, but I don't get any notifications on that. I just have to physically go in there, but I can go and see if I've missed anything. And also with the Twitter list, you can actually see the conversations that's happening within Twitter as well. Obviously, RSS Feeds is a good way to do it. There's a website called follow.net, and basically what I do is I put in there for real SEO, I put in there for the actual YouTube creators account, and I put in for some other ones as well. I can't remember which ones, but I might want to put in for my niche, which is basically for my softwares and things. I might want to put in things for Casey Zeman or Gideon Shalwick or those kind of guys, so that whenever they've got new content, I can go and get those internal YouTube links just by commenting, and I can also put in there links to my own videos that might be relevant if I feel it's needed, but I won't do it in a spammy way. I will only do that if I've got something of value that adds value to the existing video, or maybe even go and create one. It takes about 2 minutes to do if you're using Camtasia, okay? And also the other ways for the subscriber options within YouTube. So if you're in YouTube, you can see on your sort of main page as you log in, if you've got the settings set up for that, what other content other people have been putting up. But probably the simplest and easiest way is to get notifications that come via Gmail, and you can do that via your subscriber options. Okay, so YouTube will send you an email as soon as, if Real SEO submit a video, then I can get notification from YouTube via Gmail, and it just pops up on my screen, and I can go and I can comment immediately. And that gives me a good opportunity, because when you can use the comment system for videos, I don't know what it is about YouTube, but you will find a lot of people do not even moderate the comments. You will find a lot of people don't go in and answer the questions. It's completely different from a system like Facebook, for example, where you've got that little notification and people actually pay attention to it. Whereas in YouTube, you get the little notification as well, but very, very few people actually pay attention to it. But that gives us an opportunity to be able to go in there and answer the questions that they're not answering. Okay, I know that Cyril Gupta, he had created a software called TubeCIA, I think it was called. I've got a copy of it. I've never used it properly because they gave me the very first edition of it, and it was a little bit buggy, needed to be fixed and stuff as usual when you get a new software come out. But that one actually moderates your comments and your competitors' comments as well, like a sort of Outlook type of interface, which is very, very cool. I actually have to go back and use that. I'll get another review copy for it, but that is a very, very, very good tool for that kind of thing. And by doing that, you can increase the page rank going back into your own channel as well. Okay, Robert, could you go on to the next slide? Okay, silos. Do you guys understand what silos are now and how we use them? We covered on last Sunday's webinar, but I just want to get feedback so that I can see whether what I explained previously has been properly understood. Robert, Mike?
Yes, I certainly do. We were all very muted.
I noticed that. No, I just wanted to get some feedback, because sometimes when I'm explaining things, that people will just, they let it bypass, or they just don't grasp something. But it's such an important concept that I just want to make sure that people do understand. Now, the way that I use silos, and we have actually created a tool just for this, is that we categorize the videos that we've got, and we put links to those particular videos in the comment system, whether we're using our own multi-channels accounts or our own individual Google accounts that have YouTube channels connected to them. What we're doing is we're putting a link, just a plain YouTube video link, into these particular comments, and we're doing it in an order that we're always linking to back to the previous one. Okay, that's the simplest and easiest way to do it as far as automation is concerned. If you do it manually, you can do it much, much nicer, but it's very, very hard to replicate when you're doing it automated. But this is the solution that we came up with. And so what I would do is I would maybe create, like yesterday, I was testing the Chip Silo Commando software. So I created 6 videos, and it was all about using Commando Tube Tools website and 6 reasons why you should use it or something like that. And so when I uploaded, I was getting the second video to link back to the first one, the third video to link back to the second, the fourth to link back to the third, etc., etc. And that way, I've created a silo, pretty much like you would do on a website, and like we were doing, quite a long time we've been doing that kind of stuff with websites, and it was working and should still be working as well, because it's just connecting the relevant content. And the reason why it's working and still working is because it's a useful feature for users. Okay. And if it's a useful feature for users, then Google likes you for it because you're making it user-friendly, and that also gets people staying on your own content as well, which in turn gets your rankings and stuff like that. Okay, so basically what we're doing is adding a YouTube URL to a description, and when we add that YouTube URL, what happens then is it will become an anchor text link, and the anchor text is actually the title of your video. Okay, and we can use that to link to related videos on our channels. We can use different channels if we want, and you can even put in there some stuff for other people's channels if it's very, very relevant, although that might be a little bit giving them a boost if they're real competition for you. I would do that in a way that is just relevant content without it being too competitive to what my video is actually about. Okay, so I would use it for commenting on other people's videos. You can do that. You can do it in a way that's commenting on your own videos, and the simplest way, again, is to use a multi-channel feature, because it's just the fastest way to do it, especially with automation tools like we've got at the moment. Robert, I need the next page, please. Okay, before I go further with the silos, is there any questions yet? I take it that's a no. Okay, I'll just carry on. Link wheels, again, we're using comments, and it's very, very similar to using the silos, only this time we're putting in a money URL, as we would call it. So I maybe want to, it can be anything actually, it doesn't have to be a YouTube video, but it will work very, very powerfully for a YouTube video. But we can put in a money URL as well as a link going back to the last one when we're using an automation tool. Again, if you're doing this manually, which will take a lot longer to do, but you can sort of really refine it and make it much, much better. I probably will need to do a video on how to do it manually, just so that people can get a clearer idea, because there's so much more you can do with the manual ways of doing it that I cannot automate. And basically what we're doing is we will have 2 links within the description, and every single video that we upload will have the same link for the money URL as well as the link going back to the last URL. That's how we do the Tube link codes, and that software has been out for a long time. But what we've done with the Tube silo is we've taken the base of Tube link code commando and we've added more to it to be able to make that more effective, where we can choose to do it within one channel, within a multi-channel account, or just one channel that's on its own Google account. We can do it with a random channel, and we can do it with all the channels within a multi-channel account. But I did try it using the same video, and all of those within the multi-channel accounts was marked for duplicate content. So you've got to be willing to put that little bit extra work in to make these videos specifically for that purpose, okay? But when it becomes really, really important is if you've got a video that is doing well, that is monetizing, and you want to push that rankings a little bit further, this is the way to do it, okay? I would use this strategy basically for that, because you would have to use them to create more videos when doing that, when doing the actual link codes themselves, if you're using the Chip silo commando. Okay, so maybe you want to do 5 videos, upload it to 5 different multi-channel accounts, and if you've got a multi-channel account that's got, say, for example, 10 channels in it, then it becomes a little bit awkward, because the software will, at the moment, the way it is at the moment, it will try and keep posting those videos to the other channels as well, until all channels are done, and you're going to have 5 times duplicate content issue. So we need to build into that at the moment. But what we can do is we've built in a multi-channel account creator, which is actually very, very fast. The only caveat there is that it does need to have phone verification via text or telephone call for every single channel. But it's still a very, very fast way to do it, and that way you can actually just go and create a multi-channel from scratch within a period of about 6 or 7 minutes to match the amount of videos that you got. The negative thing about using multi-channels is that they do need to be optimized, so you need to be prepared to hire a virtual assistant to go in there and optimize these for you, although we will look into maybe some additional features in this particular software that we can go and do some stuff with pre-filling some information on both Google Plus, with getting the video rich snippets and things like that. Now we did actually have a video rich snippets creator, but I never ever got it working for me, so it's something that we will revisit. But if you want to use the multi-channel features, then you have to be prepared to optimize all of those channels, and that's the only negative. But once you've got it set up, if you're willing to put the work in, you can get massive results from this, because they're very, very good way once you've got them set up to be able to do things very quickly using the automation tools that we got. Okay. So basically, I'm reading my PowerPoint now. I got stuck here with what I was talking about when I wrote it. Basically, I was saying link from related videos on your own channels. Well, that's kind of what we're describing with the link rules anyway. You can do it from commenting on other people's videos, etc. And we kind of covered that stuff in the last slide as well. Looks like I've repeated myself there for silos and link rules, but it's relevant for both. Robert, could you go on to the next slide, please? Okay, so best practices using this. It's always safer to use your own channels than using other people's channels. Okay, because you control it. Nobody can nobody can give you a spam warning or anything like that, because you control it. Okay, that's the whole premise of using your own channels, and the actual beauty of the multi-channel feature. It gives us that ability. We can go and do a whole lot of stuff, and we don't bother anybody else. It's not a spamming tool at that point, and it's not a spamming strategy at that point either. Okay, if using other people's channels to do this, then you really need to personalize it. And if you're using tools like Tube Research Commando, for example, then you can comment on channels and you can comment on videos. But what Tube Research does for us is gives us a cloud view of anybody's channel. So for example, I could go and look at somebody's channel, and I can find out basically, just within a couple of minutes, I've got a complete cloud view of their whole marketing strategy. So I can go and see what other videos he's been putting up, what's the most popular videos, which ones is getting the most views, which ones is ranking the best. I can find out what his tags are in every single video, and also we can find out the uploader's name, which gives us the ability then to personalize the comments, whether it's to his video or to his channel. And we can also check the page rank of his channel as well, which is a great commenting opportunity on the channels, because not so many people are doing channel comments these days. And I don't know why. Maybe they're just not aware of the tools that's available to do that. But you will find there's less comments being done on people's channels than on their videos. And that gives us an opportunity to have a sort of lower link juice being shared when you're doing those comments. Although the YouTube internal links are no follow, they do work very, very effectively within YouTube itself. To help you to build your own page rank, especially if you're doing it with the channels. Okay, I've really got to emphasize it has to be personalized when you're doing this. So I might see a video from Casey Zeman, and if I want to go and get a backlink on his video or on his channel, I might say, "Hi Casey, that's a great video. I love the other video you did about Easy Webinar plugin, for example, about how you can set up pre-recorded videos and just keep driving traffic to it automatically and things like that." So what you can do then is you really build an interpersonalization. If you're complimenting him as well, you've got less and less chance, because you're using his name, you're talking about other videos, so he knows that you've seen what's on his channel, and you're complimenting him, less chance that he's going to flag you for spam. Okay, it's when you get this spammy content spammy comments that says, hey, if you want to make $1,000 in the next 4 hours or 10 minutes or whatever, go check out this video now. Those are the spammy comments that will get flagged, and that's what gets people's accounts closed. And when people are using that kind of strategy, then, you know, to be honest, they deserve to get their accounts closed. They deserve to get their videos banned. They deserve to get whatever is coming to them, because they're just not adding anything to the conversation. They're not adding anything useful, and they're not personalizing it in any way at all. And that's why, you know, these kind of things, these kind of strategies have to be done properly, even by taking the extra time, whatever it might take to be able to achieve that. Okay, but the results are good if you can do it, because other people start to see comments that you're doing and start to take notice of what you're doing as well. Okay, if you can put in a related video that is really sort of focused on their video, and he has maybe a high traffic video, that's a perfect opportunity, not just for the linking, but for getting noticed yourself, and for getting your content viewed as well, which is, you know, always a good thing, which is why we want to do all these kind of strategies anyway. And this is where a lot of these guys, they kind of lose focus a little bit, because what they're doing is they're thinking, okay, here's a linking opportunity to help me get better ranking, but, you know, what are they trying to rank for? And, you know, ultimately we're doing that to get more traffic. That's why we do ranking. That's why we don't buy paid traffic. But, you know, they've got half of the equation right, and the other half is just totally wrong, and they don't step back and have a think about what they're doing. And we're still seeing that even now, even with all the changes that Google has done. And I keep saying to people, you know, Google is actually forcing SEO guys to be better marketers, because it's not just about getting the rankings, it's not about the keywords, it's more about the topics these days. It's more of the semantic search, so, providing a solution to problems. And these people who are just doing all that crappy content, well, you know, they're wasting their time, they're wasting their money, and they're probably getting very frustrated, I would imagine, at the same time too. Okay. So channel commenting, I think, may be the safest way to go. It's also higher page rank. The good thing is that we can use this for local marketing as well, for geo-targeting. So, for example, you've got a client who may be a drink driving attorney in Alabama, for example. You can go and geo-target all the attorneys in Alabama and leave some great comments, and even put a link to your video in there if you've got a nice video, without even touching your competition, because you don't need to go into the other drink driving attorneys for that particular state, for example. And there's many ways that we can use it for local, and that gives us a major advantage when using that. And plus, other people get to see, you know, that might be searching for information about attorneys for that particular area. If you can't find it for sort of localized by city or town or state or postcode or whatever, you can always go more ads. You can broaden out into nationwide, as long as it's still within that specific niche. So if I was to do that for a drink driving attorney, and I wanted to do it nationwide, so I've not got competition, then you would go and find for Louisiana, Texas, etc., and leave comments there. That's the way I would use that for local. Also, Yelp, or is it Yellow Pages? I can't remember. They've got their online channels, which they sell that service to local businesses, but they never ever put links to these businesses' websites or anything like that. It's a very a good opportunity for us to be able to go in there and be able to leave comments. And I do not believe they're moderating the comments in there. So you can go and find a whole bunch of relevant content, relevant businesses that you can go and leave a whole bunch of comments on very simply, very easily. And I think this is something that we really need to build into one of the tools that we've got in Commando HQ, to make that just one-click simple, and to be able to do that and be able to create those opportunities in a very fast way for the local marketers. But that's definitely how I would be using that for local, to do the link process, to do the silos as well. Okay. Basically, what that last point is: optimize videos where you leave your silos and link those links. Well, there's other ways that we can use this. So we can be using RSS feeds, we can be using IFTTT by favoriting, and we can be using playlists, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit of detail, I think, in the next slide. Robert, do you mind to switch on to the next one? Am I talking too fast this week? I had free energy drinks so far.
No, actually, you're doing really well. There's a lot of information you're going through. This is good stuff.
Right. Okay. Okay. I will try and slow down a little bit, but you know, when the energy drinks start hitting, sometimes I get up in the morning after I've got 2 coffees and 3 energy drinks when I've done the webinars, just to make sure that I'm wide awake. But it can have the opposite effect, where it's a little bit too energetic as far as, you know, what's going on in my brain at the time. Anyway, let's go into the playlist. Now, these are one of the most effective ways to get fast rankings, and we've proven it time and time and time again. I love the playlist, and you know, the original strategy that we had for the playlist came from Mark Olson, and it was such a good strategy that when I tried it, we automated it, and I actually had one of his customers come and ask me, can you automate this, please? And we did, and then we took it further, and we took it further, and we took it further until what we've got now, and within the HQ suite. And we haven't finished with it yet. We've got a lot more to add to that. But what we can do now, and because of the multi-channels, is really, really, really effective, and it does work. Okay. Now, playlists will rank. And with playlists, we've got the opportunity and multiple ways to use it for optimization, because we can put these playlists with your video on top every single time, with the top ranking YouTube videos underneath your video. So you're building relevancy. Okay, you're hijacking the authority of other people, and you're doing curation at the same time, which YouTube likes to see you doing things like playlists. It likes to see you doing things like feature channels, other people's channels. So it's kind of like building that relevancy around it. Okay, and it's kind of like when you're doing a feature channels, it's kind of like giving an outbound link from inside your channel page. Okay, now the most effective ways of using it is by far with multi-channels. Now, if you've got that playlist creator in Commando HQ, you've got to start using it. You really have got to start using it, because it's such an effective way to get fast rankings. Okay, and the way we use it is we use our video and we put in a keyword and we put in a playlist title. Now, that's the 3 main elements. The next part is how many videos from top ranking YouTube videos you want to add into the playlist. But because it's an automation tool, we can do so much with it. We can vary, and it takes about 5 to 10 seconds every single playlist to be able to do that. So, for example, if I want to put in a keyword and I put in a headline, which should be a compelling headline, and then we've got opportunities where we can put in the playlist description some other information. We can use 5,000 characters in there. Now, if you've got some spun content, or if you've got something like Spin Rewriter, then it's very easy for you to create that content one time and just click to spin again kind of thing, and you use that within the description of the next one. If you set this up properly, I guarantee you will get fast rankings, you will get amazing results. Okay. Now, the good thing about using the multi-channel playlist creator within the Commando HQ suite is that we can switch from one channel to another channel in a matter of just one click. Okay, but what we do have to do when we're using that is we have to change the keyword a little, use related keywords. So, for example, I might be doing a playlist for YouTube SEO in 2014. The next one I might change it to video SEO in 2014, and the next one I might change it to YouTube SEO strategies 2014, that kind of thing. And we keep building relevance all the way along, but we do have to use compelling headlines every single time, because that's what gets people to actually click on them. Okay, and from doing that, then you're able to just in one click every single time move that playlist into another channel with your video on top. And I suggest you do 5 or 6 of these videos every single time, and 5 or 6 playlists for every important video every single time, so that you will get ranking. So if you've got an important video, please start using it. If you've got Commando HQ, use this. This is one of the most important parts of ranking factors for whatever you're doing, whether it's affiliate marketing, whether it's local marketing, whether it's launch jacking or hangout optimization. Please use it. It's such an easy tool to use. It's very, very simple to use, and you can do these things fast. I mean, literally 7 or 8 minutes, and you've done all you need to do, and you just move on. Now, if you spend time to create a video, if you spend time to create that content, you've got to maximize it. You've really, really got to take the time to maximize it. So when you're creating something, don't think, well, it takes me 2 minutes to make the video. which you can do if you're using something like Camtasia, or if people are still using tools like Animoto, for example. It is very, very fast to make them, but if you put the same amount of time into just a little bit extra optimization and use tools like these, you will just escalate your results in a big, big way. And I can guarantee that we've seen it time and time again. And the amount of emails I get, the amount of Facebook PMs I get and Skype chats I get with people saying that the playlist creator really does produce good results, it's just incredible, because it's a good strategy, and it does definitely work every single time. Okay, so I would definitely be using them. We built in another aspect into the playlist builder where we can do it slightly different, where we can just put in a keyword and it will pull in related results, and that way you can checkbox which ones you want to be put in the playlist along with your own video. And again, it's the same kind of principle where you're building relevancy and you're hijacking the authority of other people as well. So you can even tell by the page views, the actual video views, etc. And you can just link to them, which is basically telling Google, hi, this content belongs with that content, and that will help you with ranking just because of the relevancy of it. Okay. And you can also put in an outbound link in the playlist descriptions as well. This is something I started to play with last week, where I was putting a link to Wikipedia, for example, and put that in there along with links to your own video or your own channel within the actual playlist description. And we can use that. And another thing we can use with playlists is actually the notes. And on Sunday's webinar, I had my YouTube channel open. I had a playlist open in the edit section. Robert, can you scroll down to the next PowerPoint slide? I might have something in there about that. Well, basically what we can do is we can put notes, what they call notes, within the actual each video of the playlist. If you're using that, what you can do is you can put in there a URL, and you can use what we call co-citation. And co-citation basically means having keywords in very, very near as far as the proximity of where that particular link is. Now, that link will not show as a hyperlink. It will just show as what we call a citation. Okay. So if you've got a link to a video in there, or if you've got or a link to a website in there, what you want to do is to get some keywords straight before and straight after. Okay. But try and keep it grammatically correct, which can be a little bit tricky sometimes, but you can get pretty good at it once you do it more and more. And this is called co-citation. So basically what Google says is, here's a URL, here's a keyword before, and here's a keyword after. And the geeks, as I call them, the guys that do all these big, long, epic blog posts and white papers and stuff like that, well, they taught me about that, and it does actually work. So you know, use it. It's there to be used, and this is how we can actually max out the optimization of playlists. And you know, the ones that are most successful and the ones that will continue to be more successful are the ones who are willing to put the effort in, that extra 5 or 10 or 20% more than other people. Okay, and you know, what I see with YouTube SEO, it can still be done very, very simple, depending on what the content is about, what the keywords are, what the phrases are, what the topic is, but it is going to get harder. I think it actually is starting to get a little bit harder, but these tools that we're creating are giving you the ability with so many different strategies, for example, within Commando HQ that we can use, that if any of them go down, we still got, you know, there's over 40 strategies in that particular software. If 2 of them go down, we still got 38 that works. You see what I mean? And we're always going to tweak and develop if something like that happens anyway. But you've got to put the work in if you're really serious about being able to do stuff like this and make money from it. But the simplest way to do it, you can use the playlist, you can build them very, very quickly. And if you start to see monetization, then what you want to do is you want to go back in and optimize that a little bit further. And that's when I would start to use things like the notes better. I would start to use the playlist descriptions better. And that way you can even take this playlist and you can stick it onto, you can put it into Blogger, for example. And if you've got IFTTT set up, where if you post something on Blogger, it sends it out to Tumblr, to gets bookmarked by Deagle and Delicious, etc., then you can take it even further, and it's all set and forget as well, which you can do very, very quickly and very, very easily just by grabbing that embed code. The negative thing about the playlist embed code is they don't give us the old embed code. It's just a new iframe one, but we can still use it to be able to get some syndication to that particular playlist. Okay, what I would do with playlists as well is immediately to take the link and put it into the share link part of Google Plus, and that is a do follow link. And when you do that, get some +1s, share it to extended circles, make it into public circles, and anybody you can, and just maximize where you can send that out to, because when other people start to share or comment, etc., that will be pulled into, the comments will be pulled into YouTube page where that playlist is, and the comments will show there, and hopefully you'll get some additional likes, etc. as well. Okay, so we can add relevant videos by URLs now in the playlist, which is pretty cool. And that's basically what we built that second playlist tool around. So you can put in there, instead of just looking for keywords, you could actually just go and get some other videos that you know are related and just stick the URL in there. And because you've got the URL, it will show up in your playlist. And that's such a good feature for us, because we can really target and keep things very close as far as the relevancy. Now, how could you use that? Basically, if you're doing launch tracking, and you've got a whole bunch of people that are doing videos about, you know, the next big promotion, whether it's something like something from Mike Fusema or that recent one, it was called, what was it, Video Skin, for example. You could go and get all of their URLs and stick them all into one playlist, but put some annotations. Put some calls to action in your description, etc., and you can use it like that. Actually, I don't know, can we use annotations in playlists? Has anybody ever done that? I haven't seen that. I haven't tried it. It just came into my head right now. Do you know?
The annotations in the videos show up when they're in a playlist, if that's what you mean. I don't know about annotating the actual playlist.
Yeah, the first video, would the annotations show up? I haven't actually checked on. I wonder, we need to test that actually, because if we can, then we can build around that even more too. That would be such a cool thing to be able to do. Yeah, because if you've got the annotations in there, basically what you're doing is you will be building that relevancy, and you've basically taken all your competition and putting all the videos in there. So you build that relevancy, but you put your own on top. So that playlist, when you start ranking it, it's your thumbnail that shows up in the search results. And if they click on that and it's got an annotation there, then we could have a very strong call to action, an irresistible offer kind of thing. And boom, you know, traffic. We like traffic. Okay, so basically that's what I would do with the playlist and stuff. Robert, could you switch over to the next slide, please? Okay, feature channels, okay. Well, within the multi-channels, you really want to make your other channels feature channels, and it's very easy to do. And you can do it in one click, basically. It will tell you, it will give you a list when you start to build a new channel, what other channels you've got, and you just have to click on subscribe there, and you can make them feature channels as well. And you can create a whole section just for feature channels, which is good, because other people get to see your other content. Now, if you're using this with a multi-channel feature, what you want to do is basically you want to have a strategy behind a multi-channel account before you even create one. So, for example, if I'm using it for launch tracking, I might just have a channel like HanFan has, for example, where he is interviewing people when there's a big product launch coming up, and he's got a video and demo and interview, etc., and he puts all that kind of stuff into one channel. Now, what you can do is you can go and grab the product name even before the launch happens, and you can have the exact match product name for that particular channel before that particular launch happens, and you can just put related videos in there for that thing, for that one product. So the way I would use that in that instance is to have the feature channels all down the side so people can see other things that you have done content for. Have just one channel per product, and with that product you can create the playlist, you can create maybe from interviews that they have been doing with somebody like HanFan, because he's always interviewing the big guys. You can pull that into the Hangout, as we just saw earlier today, where there's a little YouTube button where you can actually pull in somebody like HanFan's video and stick your own annotation onto it by creating the sort of discussion within the Hangout thing. And you can just build up a lot of content very, very easily. But what the best ranking strategies for doing things like launch tracking is that you get in early, you're doing some bookmarking, you're doing some links, you're doing some content, and escalate it when it gets to 2 or 3 days before the launch. It would be expected that you get escalation, and escalation means getting more views, which you can use tools for in Commando HQ, or you can just, you know, get the views increased if you go and buy them. But if you buy them, you really need to be able to use places where you can get drip feed views, although you want to increase a lot within that sort of build up to sort of 2 days before, 1 day before, on the day of the launch, even the day after and the day after that as well. That's when most of your activity needs to happen. If you get a head start on people, you will be at the top and you will stay on the top. Okay, and that's how we would use that particular feature. Okay, so these feature channels, get back to them again. You can treat these like outbound links, like we would do on a website. So I might have something like a blog roll, for example, in WordPress, where you can put related channels, and basically you're just telling Google then that these channels, or these particular websites or channels, are related to what I do. Okay, and this is good, useful content for other users, for users to see other people's content as well. Google likes that because it's sharing. Okay, so these strategies have been working for a long time. Nothing has changed there, and we can use the feature channels for that benefit as well. Okay, and we can also add a list of relevant channels into playlist descriptions as well, and that will give us an extra boost. And I think it was Eric Rosen had mentioned to me that what he does is he puts his competitors' channel names inside his tags in his YouTube videos. You can do something similar here, and you can use it for competitors, for the social influencers. You can put product names and just put that into the tags, etc., for your videos. Okay, can we get the next slide there, Robert, please? Take a quick drink of water here. Okay, favorites. Favorites are very, very good for being able to curate content, and you can also do it just with your own channels as well. Now, if you're familiar with my IFTTT strategies, which basically means if you've got it set up using my Tube Backlink Commando or the YouTube link wheel tab within Commando HQ, if you favorite a video, that video will get link wheeled. Okay. What happens is IFTTT do a data run every 15 minutes, and if you have told it any new video I favorite, post that over to Blogger, and then from Blogger it goes to Tumblr, from Tumblr it goes to somewhere else, to somewhere else, to somewhere else, etc. Then what's happening is you're always getting a last URL link from IFTTT, and plus you have your link in the embed code for that video. So what you're doing is a kind of natural kind of link wheel. Okay. And that way you'll be able to get that content shared. So you can just click a button and favorite a video, and that's all you need to do, and it's going to get link wheeled if you're using that particular strategy. And the good thing about this is that we can actually just do some curation. So if, for example, you're using that strategy and this content is going on to Blogger, is going on to Tumblr, you can be building content just by clicking a button. And you can be building these into nice blog networks, okay, by using that particular strategy, because it's just the content that you upload or you favorite goes into the same Blogger account, goes into the same Tumblr account. You're effectively building really, really good Web 2.0 blog networks. The only disadvantage is if you don't use the descriptions properly, then it just looks like a video and there's not much good information there. So that we need to be able to spend time on these things to be able to maximize the way we do that. But you can log into those accounts later, take somebody else's affiliate links and change them out to your own, for example, and you can do that pretty easily as well. Okay, if you're willing to put the work into it. Also, you can do it with your own multi-channels as well, so you can just favorite videos and, you know, just one click, and we've got link wheels happening, we've got blog networks being built, and we've got a lot of stuff happening in the background. And it took to set up, go to Fiverr, get some accounts created, put the username and password into Tube Backlink Commando or into Commando HQ for the IFTTT tabs. click a button, takes less than 2 minutes to create. The recipe is needed within IFTTT, and all you have to do after that is click a button, favorite, click a button, favorite, and you will get link fills. Just incredible stuff, set and forget kind of stuff, and you know, it's very, very powerful. In my opinion, I know there was a lot of people confused about the IFTTT stuff, especially in the old Facebook group, and I got really, really, really frustrated because for me it was just a simple strategy. It was 3 steps. Step 1, get your IFTTT accounts created for $5. Step 2, put your username and password in there. And step 3, go into the IFTTT account and add your own YouTube channel. And well, actually, step 4 was whenever you upload a video, you've got a link wheel happening. Why did that confuse people? I'm still dumbfounded by how that one simple tool, that simple strategy, created so much confusion. Maybe it's because it was too simple. I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to the next slide. Is this the last one? Okay, subscriber notifications. Well, basically what I mentioned before is that we don't want to have too many subscribers that are not real, okay? It's one thing to look like you've got some social proof because you've got 5,000 subscribers. It's another thing to have 5,000 subscribers and when you post new content, you're only getting a few views, okay? It's disproportionate. You would expect to get a lot more from it. What we were doing before with the subscribers I'm talking about 2 or 3 years ago was we knew that when you uploaded a new video, you would get links from subscriber notifications on people's channels. Okay, they're all links, they're there, but you've got to take into context with what's happening with the recent updates. Okay, with Google. A lot of those updates have not yet come into video marketing, but you've got to think ahead. Okay, we've got so many other things going on. We don't need to do so much. How can I say? We don't need to over-optimize on the grey hat kind of stuff, if that makes sense. We don't need to go and buy 5,000 subscribers. We don't need to go and buy 10,000 views. We can minimize what we do, but we can do little bits of it, and along with some good stuff, that it's effective enough. And what will happen if and when there is an update with the YouTube algorithm, similar to what's happened with Google, is that you will stay where you are or you will increase, okay, if you've done things nicely. And all these people who are buying these 5,000 links on VagX, and it happens in 24 hours for a keyword that gets 200 searches a month, and then nothing happens after 24 hours after that, those guys are going to get slapped so badly, really, and they're going to lose rankings, and then they're going to start complaining. Oh, what works now? Okay, what works now is grey hat kind of strategies that we come up with that you can moderate. You can do it in moderation. Okay, you can do it just to jumpstart to be able to get those rankings, to be able to get those views, to be able to get that social proof, and that's the way we need to be using it. So whatever strategies we're bringing in here, they're all designed for jumpstarting. Okay, they're not designed to be your one and only YouTube marketing strategies. Okay. Because if something does come with the algorithm updates, you want to still be able to keep your rankings or go higher. And when you do a combination of these different strategies, you're still going to be there or thereabouts anyway, as long as you haven't abused things really, really badly. So when it comes to things like subscriber notifications, it's the first thing I think of when I see that, because I see people still offering 5 gigs for, you know, just crazy amounts of subscribers, but when they post their video, there's no views. Okay, then they're going by 20,000 views or 10,000 views, and it all happens in a 24-hour period. Those are the guys that are going to get slapped. It's just got to happen one day, and it's got to happen one day soon as well. Okay, we've already seen it with some of the bigger companies where they've been buying views. Google has slapped them. YouTube has slapped them. They've actually just reduced the amount of views that they've got underneath the video, and they've lost rankings because of it as well. So that's a sign of things to come. And YouTube started with the big guys, like the music kind of guys, and that kind of content. And what we can see from that is they are noticing it. They don't like it. They are going to do something about it. So you have to be sensible, okay? But for the subscriber notifications, yeah, definitely use your own multi-channels. It's not going to be that big amount anyway, but it will give you additional kind of social proof. And basically use it with your own YouTube channels as well. Okay. when I'm doing that, I'm always using the advanced video viewer within Commando HQ. And we're actually working some more on that right now because we've got some little tweaks that we need to put in there. But that's an easy way to do it. Basically, all you have to do is add the URL, put it on to enable the scheduled views, and it will just keep viewing over 30 days. And it works in the background. It sits in your little taskbar. You don't even see it working in the background. And you can set time delays. You can put it on drip feed, and the time delays work on a daily basis. So I can set it for 7 to 21 minutes. So that means it will watch a video between something between 7 minutes and 21 minutes, and before the next video view. And the same thing again. That way it keeps it completely natural, and you can have that going on throughout the day, and you can have that going on over 30 days, and you can set up campaigns as well and have that all working in the background. Now the good thing about the advanced view is that we've built in the actual view counter in there, the search counter in there. So we're using a third-party site to be able to put in all the relevant keywords for a particular video. So for example, if I'm doing views for this particular video that we're recording now, maybe I want to put in keywords like internal YouTube ranking, how to increase views via playlists, or whatever, what kind of keywords I want to use there. I can put them all in, and the tool will actually tell you what the combined views of all those related keywords are. And we can say, well, okay, then take into account as well, we've got direct YouTube views, take into account that we're going to be putting this on some traffic sites like StumbleUpon, like Pinterest, etc. Take into account if you've got an email list and you're going to send an email for it, and you can work out what the actual views should be in a month and on a drip feed as well, which means that we can get this looking more and more natural, okay? And that way we're taking control, but we're doing it sensibly, and we're not doing it stupidly like 5,000 or 10,000 views in one day and nothing afterwards. That way we keep things looking really natural, absolutely real, and that way we can get the maximum benefits from it. So that's basically all I've got for this particular session, but I will take some questions if anybody has any. Any questions, guys? Have I gone offline? Have I been talking to myself? I don't hear anybody speaking, but I can see the screen is changing. Anybody there? Mike, Robert, anybody there? Okay, let me see if I can find you guys on Skype. All right, okay, I'm just going to, I hope you've got this recorded. I'm going to log out now because I don't hear anything, and I don't know if anybody is still there. So I'm going to log out, guys, and thank you very, very much for your time. I hope we have got it recorded, and I'll see you soon on Skype, I guess. Okay, bye-bye. Let's end here, I think.